Hi everyone, my name is Megan Stackhouse with the National Weather Service in Grand Junction, and today we're going to talk about the top weather events for 2018 across eastern Utah and western Colorado. One of the top events, better late than never, I suppose. One of the top events was definitely the drought. The terrible snowpack that we had last winter led to the awful runoff season, and then the pretty much non-existent monsoon season that we had in the summer. All those factors led to the expansion and the persistence of the drought throughout the year. So this graphic goes back into March, early spring, and continuing into early winter. So you can see the Four Corners definitely suffered the most, as you all know, with that exceptional drought, D4, the worst day of the drought. That started to develop late in the spring and early in the summer. That continued all through the year. We only just started chipping away at it just this past month. And we did see some of the extreme drought drifting into the north, but thankfully we did have a pretty good fall, especially in October, so that we were able to chip away at that again going into the winter. So that terrible drought, unfortunately, that led to a really active wildfire season across the region. I know this is small and hard to read, but this is just a lot of the wildfires that we had, definitely not all of them, but some of the biggest ones, namely the 416 fire, which began on June 1st. And wasn't contained until the end of July. It grew to 54,129 acres, and that ended up being the sixth largest wildfire in Colorado history. Some other big names, we had the Burrow Fire, we had the Bull Draw, we had the Lake Christine Fire. The Bull Draw, that grew to 36,000 acres. All these fires, they ended up just persisting until we were able to get that pretty wet fall that I mentioned. So finally, that's when a lot of the fires started to get contained in October. With wildfires and after they burned, we have a really big problem with debris flows and flash flooding on those burn scars. One such instance in the 2 such instances on July 17th and July 24th. So these pictures are courtesy of the La Plata County Emergency Management, and you can see all the rocks and the debris that picked up after some heavy rains from some thunderstorms. It really only takes about a quarter inch of rain to move all that debris on a burn scar. On June 24th, we had a tornado that does not happen often out here. In fact, the last one that we had recorded was back in 2015. But this was the first and only confirmed tornado west of the Continental Divide in 2018. So this happened up in Routt County. EF0 tornado, peak winds of 65 miles an hour, and about 30 feet in diameter. So pretty cool vantage points. So yeah, we really don't see that much out here. So that was cool to see. And it didn't do any damage really, so that's good. So on October 4th, we had a really wild weather day. You pretty much got all you could experience in one day. We had some pretty heavy rains, which led to some flooding in Arches National Park. We also saw the first snow of the season on the Grand Mesa. We got quarter-inch hail in Palisade, Colorado at 3:30 in the morning. We also had a peak wind gust of 82 miles an hour. So a really potent storm just brought some wild weather to the region. On December 31st, we had a snowy end to 2018. We had a really powerful storm move into the Four Corners area, which dumped 10 to 22 inches of snow in the San Juans. We had 5 to 10 inches in the Animas River Basin and 14 to 14 and a half inches near Pagosa Springs. So definitely a great end to the year for those snow levelers. October was a really wet month for Grand Junction. We had 11 consecutive days, the first 11 days of the month, with 2.53 inches at the end of the 11 days. We also had the sixth wettest 7-day period with 2.34 inches the second week of October. And the Grand Junction Airport finished October as the 4th wettest month on record with 2.76 inches. So much needed rain for sure. Before we got that rain and those cooler temperatures, we had some really hot temperatures. The Grand Junction Airport ended up picking up a high temperature of 90 degrees or more 90 times during the year. And that tied for the record number of times we hit 90 degrees or more. That tied with 1977. We also hit 100 degrees or more 14 times during the year. So definitely a hot summer. We needed that moisture in October. So we had a new record peak wind gust for Grand Junction that was set on July 17th. We had a new peak wind gust of 70 miles per hour, and that broke the old record of 68 miles per hour back in 2002. So you can see this caused some shingle damage and also some tree damage and some fence damage. We had some gusty winds again and some large hail on August 21st. We had wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour across Mesa County, which led to some downed cottonwood trees and some shingle damage. We also had some quarter-sized hail or 1 inch in diameter fall at Highline Lake State Park. And those are the top weather events for 2018 across eastern Utah and western Colorado. Let us know what you remember for the year, and hopefully we'll have another great one in 2019. Thanks, guys.